Hello everybody. Um, First of all, I'm sorry for not uploading any tutorials. I was just a little busy. But yeah, I'm back again, and yeah, I will try my best uploading tutorials as soon as possible. I've got many ideas, and yeah, I've been doing so many things. So yeah, I think I'm gonna upload some good ones. So yeah, today we are gonna be doing an elevator system. I did see on YouTube and I googled it on some elevator systems for Unity. Uh, I saw those all the tutorials were meant on animation. So whenever the player enters the elevator, there's animation playing. It is like the elevator goes up. That's just an animation, and I just didn't find it to be a good idea. So I thought, let me make a small piece of code for elevator. So yeah, I just tried it, and yeah, I came up with this code. Now the small piece of code, it works well. I've tested it. So let me show you what am I doing today. We go up the elevator, we jump back, the elevator goes down, and if I go on the elevator and if I jump off, the elevator goes down automatically. Let me check it out again. Yeah, it works well. uh, so yeah, let's do this. uh, Let me create a new scene. I'll create a game object plane as a flow. I'll position it to 0 0 0. The main camera also to 0 0 0. I'll just delete the main camera, and I will go to standard assets, character controller, and I will implement the first person controller into the scene. Now I'll create another game object, directional light, so that I can see things in the scene. And I'll rename the first person controller to player. I will create another game object, cube. This will be elevator. I will scale it up. mm, and I'll duplicate. Okay, I'll just leave it like this. I'll just add an material to this so that I can differentiate in things. Yep. So I'll, I will rename this cube as elevator. Now I'll create another game object, empty game object. I'll position it to 0 0 0. I will make elevator the child of this game object, and I'll rename this game object to elevator trigger. Now I'll add a component physics box collider. um, Let me just adjust the position of the elevator. So yeah, in the elevator trigger, I'll just scale the box collider. Just do what suits you. Make sure that the box collider is not as big as the cube, because as soon as the player enters the cube, the elevator will just go up, you see, so it will not be more realistic. So yeah, this one thing you might be careful of. Just get this upwards. I'll get this height low. Yeah. So I will create another new script called as elevator movement. I will assign the script to elevator trigger. So I'll create a new variable called move. I'll set it to boolean. So function on guys, I just forgot to do one thing. In the elevator trigger, check is trigger, so that we can get to know the trigger activity is happening. So I'll create a new function called on trigger enter. This is a default Unity function which allows us to get to know about triggers happening in the scene. So I'll collider, call collider, and another function called function on trigger exit. I'll just copy and paste this. I'm lazy. So on trigger enter, move equals true, and on trigger exit, move equals false. So okay, let's check if the player enters the trigger. So if collision call.gameObject.name is equal to player, print player has entered. Let's check if it works or what. Haven't, yeah, you see at the bottom, yeah, it says the player has entered. So I think it's working. So then I will make move to true, and here also the same thing. If collision dot call dot game object dot name equal to player, so here if the player has entered, then move is equal to true, and here if the player has exited, then move equals false, and print player has exited. Okay, so now let's get the elevator moving. So if move is equal to true, and now I want my so just let me think, if I have a floor above if I have a floor above which will be at a height of 10 units, yeah, with a height of 10 units, and I want the elevator to go at a height of 10 units, so yeah, if you want to do that, if transform dot position dot y is less than 10, so the current position of elevator trigger is 0.5. so yeah, if transform dot position, I'll just change, yeah, so I'll just change this to 0. I'll just change this to -1. No, I'll just keep this also to 0. So yeah, if transform dot position dot y is less than 10, so if elevator triggers position is less than 10, then transform dot translate vector3 dot up into speed into time dot delta time. So let me create another variable called speed, and it'll be float, and I'll give it a value of 10. So yeah, let's see if this works. It transforms up. So yeah, it stops at the unit of 10. Let me give this another color. Yeah. So as soon as the elevator reaches at a height of 10, it stops. So yeah, now if we exit, if we on trigger exit, if move is equal to false, then we'll get the elevator back down to its position. So if move is equal to false, and if transform dot position dot y is greater than 0, then transform dot translate minus vector 3 dot up into speed into time dot delta time. So if now when if we jump off the trigger, and if the transform the position dot y, if it is greater than 0, then the body will I mean the elevator will start moving downward. So yeah, so that's why I put a minus symbol, negative symbol. So it will start moving downwards until the position is greater than 0, and once it comes to, you can add an equal to sign also, and when it gets to 0, it just stops. So let's test what happens now. Does it work or what? 1 second. Yeah, here I go up, I get here, I come down, it stops. So yeah, even if I jump off the halfway, it comes down. So yeah, it's working well. So I just made this tutorial because I thought making an elevator and scripting it would be a better idea than animating it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you guys.